After many coffee sips later, 17 to be precise, in one little cup. I'm back, and this time, it's time to throw down. Now then, shall we go with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up by the arms. Quickly picked her up in his arms, and he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have become difficult. Yes, I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as is, we're finished. Don't say that! Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet! That's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Faye, a cross-examination if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Well, we can start by going to 3. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to carry a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did! That kind of talk is just silly. Wow. Why do you get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there is some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. In this case, it's right here that we need to say a killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in there are never recovered. Oh! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago. Give me a second. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. Hesitant are we, Melissa? If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order! I'm not sure if I care for the way you put it that. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye. But I must admit, it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Oh! Well, Mr. Edgeworth. How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely, you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? Alright. I'll do my best. Here it is. She added this. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. What did the man do then? Well, naturally he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you did call the police? You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. Well, in that case, I say that is just straight and utter bullshit! Well, Miss Foster, looks like you've done it this time. Did what? Made a crucial mistake. Crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you try to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. Flick. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this. as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. With your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Oh! Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff. But still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have had heard the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh! Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute! You can't just say that! Objection! Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair! Save the tears for later, kid. Mr. Armando! Don't look back until the trial's over. Now's the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair! Okay, kid, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and he hid the body in there. So tell us, how did you know that? How did you know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain there were scratch marks when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. They certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. Can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? Doesn't work. Melissa Foster, looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had to see the scratches was she put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes, what was it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I can never. It was a man in the prison car. He's the one that. I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car! He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Flick. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we would never have uncovered the truth. It could have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. No! Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in there, in the trunk, when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time. She was taking photographs. Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Miss Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may have not been pushed by Miss Foster herself. It has a timer function. I don't think you can make a mistake about it. Take a look at her camera. It has a timer built into it. Even a mini tripod. Almost as if the camera was brought just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't even in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Will the defense please explain further? This is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Well, she was right here. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Harville, was standing. Order! Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could have only been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine! Of course, Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the victim's photo was taken, the witness photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valley Hawthorne. What? I've never heard any more ridiculous in my entire life. And who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster! Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman who testified, whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hot years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You are just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Thus, we check the details. It says here, February 14th, 1:21 p.m. Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. The whole truth must come out. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Mia simply blew her away. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why'd she do it? Well, isn't it that obvious? She's the true criminal. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are instructed to wait in the lobby. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. This court is in recess. But since I already made a save, I'm going to save again. Just because I can. February 16th, 1:14 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry! I want to say thanks! You're really good! You really hooked me up! Thanks, we're almost there. Was it proof that she committed the crime? Yeah, but there's one more thing. But there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that police woman anyway? Motive, Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing! I didn't kill nobody! Never heard! Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago? Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks the same just then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend? Hey, hold on there. Did you just say Hawthorne? Yeah. Like the town and like the mall we used to have. Hawthorne Mall. The victim's last name? Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. I need to turn off this fan. Gotta turn that fan off to make me cough. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl, let her go. Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first, I thought shooting someone for kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong! No protect sister! Valerie betrayed me! Betray us! What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything! All lies! All make-believe! Kidnapping too! Make-believe kidnapping. Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Did he actually say, my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Oh boy, you're one of those guys, aren't you? Anything Dahlia says. Oh, hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent to her dad. Asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright? In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 mil 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman! That woman! Valerie! She do it for real! She shoot at me for real! Me and Dahlia! I was shot in arm. Dahlia! She jump in river. You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me! That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring rapids. Into the roaring river, 40 feet below. Might as well call him rapids, shit. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? 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 Why did she die? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why'd you lie? Why'd you betray me? I just want to hear an answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, zebra boy. My senses are tingling all over. So you're Peter Parker. Or Ben Reilly. Or perhaps you were Toei Spider-Man. Forgot his name. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, getting the ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember now? Did you give it back to Pops? The police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really. I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day, on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone. With Dahlia. Gone. Forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone, Dahlia. My teen angel. Your teen angel. How old was she anyway? Just 14. Statutory rape much, sir? But 14! I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Not related to Charlie. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... Guys, you can answer that yourselves. It's time, kid. It's like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet! The training wheels come off now, man. You've got to strike while the iron's hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Shit! Remember it! February 16th. Yes, I made that joke. 1:49 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, trying to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason for a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive. Figure that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Remember that line, folks. Remember that line. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted and nuts. It's a mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course, Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. In what way, sir? I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why. I at least want you, Mr. Judge, to know that's not true. I see. Such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her. Click! She lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Melissa Foster's history. Fingers. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow, I have to tire to this case. Well, off the bat, let's do this. So what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed... It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. Didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her harder for details? Yes. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh, well, that can't be helped. Yes, it can. Why is he disagreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. That sounds so wrong. Let's press that. So, what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors, picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. Ooh! But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its dark, desolate beauty, and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any question that involve the witness' private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to the crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. She really has gone too far. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. Yeah, that is on the blue, isn't it? A grudge. Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death? Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. But still, press hard. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Well, we had it. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why. Enough, witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I was lucky. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I accidentally worn a white scarf like you said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Or would it? Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you, and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. That's a problem with some women these days. You knew about that incident, but weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. I can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me. She's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. In this case, you know what? That's bullshit right there. It's true, Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, "Wear a white scarf for identification." Yes, what about it? Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that the witness knows about it? It is odd, isn't it? Well, Miss Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the note would be... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just, I saw when it happened, with my own eyes. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. Come on, Mia, you can't let her weasel her way out of it that easily. Witness, sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw. Possible. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. You said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? Click. That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note. No! It says, wear a white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster, No! Order! Miss Sidewith, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Dahlia Hawthorne! And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at this victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name. Right there. What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to get... Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean? Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed? But you said she was killed. But was she really? What are you implying? Of course people thought she had died 5 years ago. When she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she was still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying! Flick. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne! What? Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a three-alarm fire. But unless you can tie it all in loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Linus, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Miss Edgeworth! Explain yourself! Your Honor, I've an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean? Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all our witnesses. What did he say? Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way, but then why? If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to... You know what? I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna stop right here, and in the next part, cliffhanger time. Yes, I'm pulling this. I'm pulling this very part on a cliffhanger. So with that, I'm just gonna stop here, and the next part. Ooh, boy, next part. It will blow your mind. Stay tuned for more after this.